said, is it important to then have a great defensive back room, like have a lockdown corner whenever you can't get a pass rush until Micah Parsons comes back? Is it worth investing, going and trading, going and getting that guy that can be a lockdown while Micah Parsons is out? Because clearly against an elite offensive line, this front four is not going to get it done right now.
Yeah. Man, that at 414-677-1250, do the Packers need to make a move at cornerback, especially in this not Micah Parsons time yet, but in general? Yeah. St. Just is out today with a what was he got a hammy. Cisse should be fine, but Cisse had a knee Friday night, and they said he's fine, and I'm sure he's at practice right now. But it's not like your depth there is good to begin with. When Valentine's healthy, your depth still isn't great. Exactly. And I know Kamal had a game, and everybody's talking about him as like he can play in the secondary, wherever he ends up playing. And that's great. But like the depth of the cornerback room is suspect. And to your point, do you need to shut down, or do you just need do you need a guy who can play? Like not taking on like a charity case or somebody who like you're hoping can play, or you see something, not putting like the Brewers would do. Like they'd see a pitcher who hasn't pitched well in other places, but they can put him in the Chris Hook school and he can all of a sudden be really good.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily that, like a guy who's proven, a guy who we know can play, a guy who's ready to play, and see if that guy can just slide in. Do the Packers need that? Or to your point, Mace, do they need a top of the line shutdown guy, especially when Mike is hurt?
If you have a room for it, I say go kick the tires and try to get somebody that's worth their weight on the outside. Here's another question. I get it. Like, all right, you haven't decided. Like, it's like Cisse for the most part. He looks like he's going to be one of the starting cornerbacks.
Yeah, he's going to start.
Does he need to be playing special teams in the preseason?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Why in the world do you need to see if he can lock someone down, or if he can run and be a gunner on punt team? Like, you have bodies galore right now. Like, he does not need to be doing that in the preseason. Do I think he should in the season? Yes. Like, he is a rookie. He should continue to earn his stripes, and like he can be one of those guys. But I don't understand that. Like, he tweaks his knee a little bit. I think he was playing gunner, right? Like either gunner or playing corner on punt return, but I believe it was gunner. Like, that is just like, it doesn't make any sense. And then that is the issue, right? Now he probably, if he becomes a starting corner, probably won't be available for special teams, because they're going to say, nope, you can't have him. We don't want to see him get hurt again. And then we're going to fall right back into that pattern where our special teams units don't have any of our top guys playing on them. And we're going to be up here 5 weeks into the season complaining, why are our special teams not good anymore? It's that thing, right? It's like, you don't need to play him on special teams during the preseason. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't do anyone it doesn't do anyone any good.
And to your point, Mason, especially if you're thin at the position,
right?
And especially if he's going to be your 1A starter.
Exactly.
Like, I get that he's a second-round pick and he's a rookie, and rookies pay their dues, right? Yeah. And part of paying your dues is playing on teams. Yeah. I get that. I get what they think they're doing, but knowing you're already short at that spot, knowing how important, if you think he's your 1A guy there, knowing he's going to be, whether he's a rookie or an 8th-year veteran or anywhere in between, you probably don't want him out there. So, but do the Packers need more depth? And is it depth, or do they need a stud? Do they need a star at the cornerback spot? 414-677-1250 as we continue to look at the Packers game from Friday night and where we think there are other opportunities to grow and to become the team we all want them to be, Mason.
Yeah. And then I'm looking at St. Just and all that. Like, is his injury significant? Like, I truly think they need to go get, they have to add another piece there. Is Bullard, have we gotten an update on his injury?
I did not see anything on him
again, because I think this is just, I think this is a light position. We've had questions about it. Keyshawn Nixon was thrown into a starting role because of Jair Alexander's, issues and all of that. Like, you don't have a proven, like, elite starting corner on this team. And without a pass rush, without Micah Parsons in that lineup, that is going, like, it's going to be a liability. Like, the Broncos took advantage of that, right? Like, no pass rush. They were able to just kind of move the ball and do what they wanted to with their ones because that elite offensive line that they have. So I truly believe, I believe that this front four and like what Gannon will be able to draw up, bring it, he's not doing a lot. He's trying to see if that front four can get it in the preseason. He'll have to draw up some stuff, but you can't rely only on that. And against, again, a Denver offensive line is better than most, but you're going to face Chicago before Micah Parsons comes back. Detroit has a pretty good offensive line. Like, you got to get to the quarterback or you're going to get exposed in the secondary.
Ken's in West Dallas. Ken, you're up on the Mason Crosby show. What do you got for us today, Ken?
Talking about pass rush, in my opinion, the pass rush is lacking. And in my opinion, Gunnar Hurst is missing the boat if he doesn't pursue Sweat from Arizona.
You want him to still kick the tires on Josh Sweat?
Why not? He's in town.
They're going to be looking at him, right?
Yeah, I think if they can give up a 2 or 3 draft choice, go after him.
Yeah, I mean, if they would take a second or third round pick, that would I think that would be a steal. I don't know though if you're going to go and pay another top dollar defensive end or pass rushing guy after you did what you did with Micah Parsons. I think.
Although does that clean up the cornerback room though, Mason? If you get a pass rusher,
if you got both those guys,
right? Does that make the cornerback's job better? Then is it? And we talked about this a ton last year, right? Like, do you get another guy next to Micah, or do you get a cornerback? And does it matter if you get?
My opinion is if you get an elite corner, Micah comes back. This defense should be a top 5 defense, and that gives you. I think that gives you just as good of a chance to win a Super Bowl as going and leveraging yourself and getting another pass rusher and still having some deficiencies at corner. Like, you have to address.
Ken, thanks for the call.
Room.
Yep. Yeah, I think there's something to that. Tommy and Dallas agreeing with you, Mason. He was losing his mind over our best corner out there as a freaking gunner. Like,
makes no sense,
what
Tommy.
The heck, Matt LaFleur? You know who will have an opinion on this, Mr. Crosby, is our friend Mike Heller.
All right, let's ask him.
Mike, I mean, and that's the beautiful thing about Mike Heller, especially on a Mondays. He's got football opinions. He's got Packers and Badgers opinions, but he's also a baseball guy.
Nice.
So we're going to talk to him about, well, I just want to hear a good Little League story from Mike and like when he was in Little League, because I know he's got one. Because he played some college ball, and so
was he? Do you think he wasn't a power guy? He
was a speed guy.
Yeah,
He was like the fastest guy you've ever seen. With all due respect to you, of course.
Oh, yes. I took offense to that.
Yeah, I know. I could tell. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Mike Heller is next.
Let's do it.
This is the Mason Crosby Show with me, Mitch Thunder Nellis. What's up, Mace?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he likes this song, but he does love Mondays. Joining the show now, our good friend Mike Heller. How you doing, Mikey?
Hey, I couldn't be better. Thanks for having me on.
Nice.
Is that
so? Do you like that song? Do you like the Manic Monday song?
Yeah, it's okay. My daughters all loved that song growing up, so it brings me back to when they were teenagers. Yeah,
Heard it a little too much.
What is your Monday song? Do you have a Monday song that you would pick?
No, I don't. I should. Mitch,
Yeah.
I should have one.
I mean, the name of your podcast is literally "I Love Mondays."
That's true.
Just saying.
I have to
We'll get you.
remind
We'll get you. Someone should write you. Yeah, they should write you.
Somebody
a song.
should write you a song. Yeah,
For sure.
You know all the cool
Yeah.
people in Madison. Get a singer-songwriter to write you a song.
That's what my daughter and son-in-law do. They live in Nashville and they're singer-songwriters. So
Say less. There you go.
Love
done
it.
deal.
Well, hey, I'm gonna have to get their info. We're down here in the Nashville area.
Yeah,
So.
see, Biz, my daughter is she does sad girl music.
Oh, okay.
She's
I can get into that.
on like TV shows. So
It's okay to feel your feels. It's okay to feel your feels, Mike.
Her song and her
Nice.
voice are all over those.
Just heavy, just kind of make you feel everything.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
I get that. All right, Mike. Let's dive in. We were talking the Packers, so we'll start there, and then we'll jump around to Badgers and some Brewers stuff. But what's your thought from the game on Friday and how this preseason has gone so far with this team? And we were talking about the cornerback room.
Yeah.
And so I'd
love
love
that
to hear your
conversation.
thoughts.
I love the conversation, and so Cleveland just named Deshaun Watson their starting quarterback, player that transferred back to LSU.
Yes.
So what about Denzel Ward, a 29-year-old corner? Because I love your thought, Mace, about going to get a number one cover corner. You got to have somebody that's willing to give up a number one cover corner. If he's their number one, it's a significant give right now, and you're talking about late August. Denzel Ward, Cleveland's one of those teams that is in so many ways such a mess. He might be that guy. I just don't know where that other guy exists until you get to the trade deadline when somebody's given up on their year and just wants draft capital, at least the front office is giving up. But yeah, that is part of the point. Jonathan Gannon has his work cut out for him, in particular in the first 5 to 6 weeks until Micah comes back, if he does come back in week 6, because there is and that was one of the things I saw, Mace, on Friday night and in week 1, other than bringing a pressure package, nobody on that defensive front is beating the guy across from. We're hoping that LVN was doing that, but he didn't.
I will. We do need to look at they don't have Wyatt and Hargraves, suiting up in the interior, so that could make a little difference. But I'm still concerned about it.
Yeah, and we should be. Even and we trust Xavier McKinney, but Waddle schooled him on that early route, and then you had Edgerrin Cooper, who we like a lot, and RJ Harvey kind of ran by him, stutter stepped, and then got the little bit of separation for the touchdown. So, yeah, pass defense it's a concern. Everything else I liked on Friday night. The quarterback play, Jordan Love was really good. It was a perfect scenario for the coaching staff, right? A good long drive. He's sharp. They did all the right things. 3rd and 1 they throw. 4th and 1 they throw. Matthew Golden, great slant, really good read. Everything was good, but the secondary is without question, and without Micah Parsons that can take away some of the secondary concern. Yeah, that's it's going to keep them awake.
What do you think of? The rumor mill is churning, and I've seen the Joey Porter Jr. conversations, and I know there in Pittsburgh they're a little frustrated. He is, he's looking to be up for a contract extension, but he tweaked his back early in camp. Is that even one that we would even mess with because there's a little history, injury stuff, or is it a Micah Parsons type deal where he had a back injury when whenever we traded for him. Like he hadn't played at all. He was kind of nursing something, then came back and was gangbusters, right?
Well,
so
really,
like, is it just something sometimes like something sours at an organization with a player and they're just like, I don't even want to try anymore for this team.
And it is really interesting that that your top two cover corners, one's the rookie Brandon Cisse and the other one is nobody's favorite in Keyshawn Nixon. By the way, I think that the fan reaction to Keyshawn stuff, and nobody's going to tell anybody. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to fan, but I do think everything with him turns negative. And I don't fully agree with that. I thought his comments last week were good. Like I didn't have a problem with any of that. It's a guy with an edge, a guy with a chip. And if he tells you he's got an edge and a chip and the fans and people want to take it the wrong way, take it a negative way, I took it a positive way. He believes he belongs. He believes he's going to be their best. And I think that's part of the rub is that his confidence hasn't been backed up by his play on the field. But I want my corner to have his attitude. So I wasn't bothered by the comments. He's got to play it on the field.
I think if he was the second corner and you had a stud that you were paying $25 million a year, because what's he getting? 6 to 8 million a year.
Alexander?
Exactly. You're paying Keyshawn Nixon to be a second or third corner.
Yes.
And so if we should be mad at anyone, we should be mad at the organization for having your starting number one corner is not a guy that you're even willing to pay and put in that in that elite tier. So they've just tried to piece this together with losing Jair, making the trade for Micah, all that. They're just like, all right, can we just figure out a way to hold off for a year or two with this cornerback room before we have to make any big decisions?
And I think it's also interesting that Jonathan Gannon is sort of being counted on to scheme all of the pressure once they start the regular season, and they're not going to show it. They showed it a little bit early in camp. They're not going to show it again until they play September 13th and beyond. So it's the onus is on him. You got to find a way to get pressure on the quarterback. You got to be exotic. And every time you do that, Mason, you know it better than the rest of us. When you do that, you are vulnerable. When you decide to bring corner pressure or safety pressure, you better get home, because if you don't, you're undermanned back there, and that's when big plays happen. But there's a lot on Jonathan Gannon's plate to do the things they're going to have to do until Micah Parsons' impact is really felt, and that is almost certainly going to be November, December, January. And I was doing this morning on the I Love Mondays podcast. When Micah Parsons returns, it is almost exactly 90 days prior to wild card weekend in the playoffs. It's that time, it's that build, and his biggest impact needs to be January, but you got to get there. Right. But there is a 90-day window from his expected return until playoff football begins.
We got Mike Heller joining the Mason Crosby show. We're talking Packers. We'll talk Badgers. You referenced it, and I want to hit on it. The 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 play with Jordan Love in that. They lined up a shotgun, faked the draw, which I think that's literally for some reason Coach LaFleur's favorite 3rd and short play. Right. In preseason especially. And I mean, I saw the Steelers did it when they had a short yardage. Do you want to see if your big guys up front can just move a line and get, stick your nose in there and get a play? For me, I'm like, if you're going to go for it on 4th down, just line up in a power formation and just see what your running back and your offensive line can do, especially in preseason. I didn't love them doing a fake handoff, trying to, scheme something up in that moment. How'd you feel about that?
There was nothing there on 3rd. That 3rd down play was not going to, right from the beginning, you see, I mean, they had it figured out. They were not fooled by anything. Mace, I wonder if they feel like they can get that look on Wednesday this week in the joint practice to see if the Bulldozers can just make the move. And there's more intricacies involved in the throw game there that they'd like to work in a game situation rather than the red jersey quarterback on this coming Wednesday. Maybe that's part of it. But yeah, if you do that in Minnesota on September 13th, we're going to be yelling at the TV screen going, 3rd and 1. Have your road graders move them. And so, yeah, I had that.
There's just some things in football that I'm like, that they don't need to change. Like sometimes you just got to line up and hit people in the mouth and just kind of set the tone. And like, I sometimes feel like it's that like trying to be too smart and like come up with a play to trick somebody instead of just let's play ball right now.
Yeah. I agree with that. I did love the 4th down conversion. With Golden. Obviously it's a good route read from Golden. It's a good route read from the quarterback position to see it. Not always the easiest throw to make, and turned it into something really good. So that part I liked. But yeah, I sure would have appreciated the 3rd down to just go ahead and have your offensive line
get that first down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Mike, like you mentioned the wide receivers. Obviously Christian Watson's gonna hopefully establish as the one. I mean, would you put how would you rate Golden and Reed right now as that kind of number 2 receiver, especially just watching some of these preseason games, like what we've been hearing coming out of camp? It feels like Love's really getting comfortable with Golden over there.
Yeah, and I think he's probably the 2 from the wideout perspective, your next best. And then Reed has shown from the beginning, as long as he can stay healthy, that he's a mismatch and can be great in the slot. So I think that's probably the deal. And everything I love about Golden kind of emerged at the end, the Bears playoff game, but kind of what we saw in spurts a year ago. And he had to figure out this league. I mean, there's a tremendous jump, and he probably didn't acclimate as well as they wanted him to last year, but he's such a great hands catcher. Watson he's getting better at it, but he's not a natural hands catcher. And Golden is, I think he's got a chance to be really good. Dobbs was a great hand catcher, but he doesn't have the athleticism that Golden has. So yeah, hopefully that combo of athleticism and the really good hands helps to make him the 2. I think he's the 2 and reads your slot.
I think Matt LaFleur spoke a little bit about that this morning, about how good Golden's hands are and could be. Mike Keller joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show with me, Mitch Thundernellis. He's on the guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Mike, take us a little bit inside of Badger football. We're not far away from kickoff at Lambeau Field.
13 days.
13 days. Not that anybody's counting. I think you're counting. Sunday Night Football, NBC. I don't know if Carrie Underwood's doing a special song for Badgers in Notre Dame, but should be. What are you seeing out of training camp? And we've seen a lot of positivity that things feel a little different, that things is that the case? And how are you feeling about things right now?
Yeah, I'm optimistic. And here's part of the reason why they don't report any of the numbers. I wish the college athletics was transparent. I wish we knew what they were spending in their payroll like we do in every other sport that we care about. Every other sport that we spend time on and care about, other than collegiate football, basketball, the other sports, tells you how much they're paying their players. And now that you pay your players, why don't we know? But here's what I think we understand.
Good point.
Is that Wisconsin they ramped it up. A year ago, Ted Kellner went around later in the season and kind of did the car wash of media and said that last year Wisconsin football was in the bottom third of the 18 teams in the Big Ten in player spending. But next year they would be top third. Well, this is next year. I think they're close to top third. I think they've spent their money. Now they have to win games. The schedule allows that as a possibility. You open with Notre Dame in September. You open with Notre Dame and you finish September at Penn State. Now that's no bargain. They're both, Notre Dame's top 5. Penn State is right around the top 5, just outside. Matt Campbell's a new first-year coach at Penn State. I don't know if you can win either one of those games, but I was saying, Mitch, that if Wisconsin won the 2 games in between Western Illinois and Eastern Michigan, and they played Notre Dame to just outside of a 1-score game, they're in it in the fourth quarter. And then if they played Penn State to a 1-score game, maybe you win it. But even if you didn't, and you were 2-2 and played 2 powerhouses to a game that you had a shot to win it in the fourth quarter, this team, I think, can take off. I have them winning 7 times. I think they could win 8. But if you win 8, then you have to beat, because there's 12 games. If you win 8, you've got to beat a Notre Dame, a Penn State, a USC, Iowa, and Minnesota's your last game, and I count that in there. Those are the 5 games that you'd have to win one of them, because if you lost the other 4, that puts you at 8-4 if you don't get upset. And they play
no other missteps, right?
Yeah, and they play at Maryland this year. Maryland beat them in Madison a year ago. And the other thing, just to point it out, this is a negative, but I think they're going to make this step. They have to make a quantum leap, which is a really good late 70s TV show.
I love
they
Quantum
have to make
Leap.
a quantum
leap.
leap.
No. Quantum Leap was 80s. Quantum
80s?
Leap was 80s.
So
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not that old, Mike. I'm not that old, and I grew up with Quantum Leap. So
yeah. Okay. So 80s. I'm older. I lose my decades.
that's fair.
They're gonna have to make a quantum leap offensively. They were the second worst scoring offensive team in America. 136 teams. They were 135.
Yikes.
They were 132 in pass. And the only reason that is that there's military schools that don't throw the ball. So they have to make this enormous leap. They've got to skip 3 steps on the ladder offensively. They got to jump up dramatically. Colton Joseph is their quarterback, comes from Old Dominion. I think Ryan Hopkins will be the number 2. But Colton Joseph can run. He can throw and run. Probably maybe runs a little bit better than he throws. That they're going to have to be so much better. But I think they're a 7-win team, Mitch. And if they draw a break, maybe that can be 8. But I think we'll learn a lot about them in September. If they play Notre Dame and Penn State tough, maybe they steal one. Nobody thinks they can beat Notre Dame. I sort of think they can be in a fourth quarter game there.
From your mouth to God's ears, Mike.
I think that that point spread's a little heavy.
I would 20.5. I would take the points.
I would too. Yeah, I think it's still at 20.5. So yeah, I would go under on that. Just think that they're gonna
there's no way. Thunder could
no, not that there's no way. I'm just a little more hesitant that it is a game, like you guys are saying, could be a close game midway through the third quarter, and then the wheels fall off a little bit. And I think, Mike, what we're going to learn about this Badger football team is if that happens, how do they respond from that? Because yes, you can fight with Notre Dame for 43, let's say that for 40 minutes, it's a 1-score game. And then all of a sudden you lose by 3 touchdowns. And you're like, do you get down on yourself and start thinking about last year? Or are you able to realize that you're a different team this year?
When they played that first game in the neutral series with Notre Dame, Wisconsin took the lead very end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth. And then I think we threw 4 interceptions in the fourth quarter and got beat sort of badly.
That game got bad quickly.
So there's that memory. But none of these guys were around for that. It's a long time ago.
My last question for you is, I was going to ask about kind of offense, all the stuff. So you hit on that. But just talk about this defense. Obviously, some good anchors on this defense. They kept them, I guess, around in some of the games with how bad they were at scoring. They held some teams to some low numbers. So is this defense expected to make another step, and are they going to be kind of the catalyst to what this team can be this year?
So Cooper Catalano set the all-time state record in tackles at Germantown 2 years ago. He's 2 years removed from playing high school football right now. It's the most tackles in the history of Wisconsin high school football. He anchors the middle, and Mason Posa, who's from Albuquerque. The two are roommates. They're best friends. And those 2 guys are not good. They're special. They're going to need to be. They're the team leaders. If they vote captains, these guys are true sophomores. They are the team leaders. They emerged last year in, I don't know what month it is, early November, when they played at Oregon. And they both started for the first time, and they're studs. I mean, they are really good. I think
you got to think Posa got some opportunities to leave, right? And it has to it has to be really good. And we have to feel confident that he chose to stay and anchor this defense.
Yeah. And if those guys are what we kind of all think they are and what we saw they were a year ago, the defense under Mike Tressel it's going to need to be special, right? If I have them winning 7 times, maybe 8, and if they're going to play with Notre Dame and play with Penn State and play with USC when they come and play with Iowa on Halloween day down in Kinnick, that defense is going to have to be special. And those 2 dudes, they are special, healthy, and, take another step forward from being true freshmen. Yeah, that's the story of this team. The offense has to make that fantastic leap forward, but the defense has to be even better than they were last year, and it was really good last year.
Mike, we're running up against it. Where do we find your podcasts?
I Love Mondays is every day, Monday through Friday. It's on a YouTube channel. Just go to Heller Pods, just search Heller Pods. And then I do a daily called the Heller Wrap after every Brewer game, and then after every Badger and Packer game. And that's also at the same site. You can see it.
Awesome. Mike, thank you so much for jumping on. We didn't even get to baseball. We'll get to it next time, I promise.
All right.
And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good. See you guys.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Mike. Mike Heller joining us here on the Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. We will wrap things up in hour number 1 and keep things going. Talk about everything we saw from Williamsport and beyond when we come back here on the Mason Crosby Show. All right. Mason Crosby, Mitch Nellis here with you. We just got like a minute here before the top of the hour.
We're going to
Mace?
get into Brewers in the second hour, but
Yeah.
I'd be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to a fellow kicker out there, Harrison Butker,
Oh,
the
yeah.
69-yard field goal.
That was crazy.
That was a bomb. I mean, he hit the net behind
Right.
behind
Like it didn't just get through.
Yeah, he whipped that thing. So
Yeah.
that was impressive, and it's wild what these kickers are doing.
Will they do that in a regular season?
If it's half, like before half, for
Before half,
sure,
I guess
or
so.
end of the
Yeah,
game,
you're right.
Like they're going to try one. Like
Yeah.
that will happen here at some point.
But middle of the second quarter, are you going to do that?
So
or?
exciting to do it, but I'd be bummed hitting that in preseason.
Cam
Little bit
Little,
of a
that's
bump.
when he had his 70-yarder,
I
right?
know exactly.
Like that's gonna have you need the perfect circumstance.
But then, yeah, sometimes it lines up. Maybe he's just setting something up for this season. We'll see a big kick this year.
Plenty more to come in the second hour of the Mason Crosby Show. Focus on Brewers and a little more football. It's the Mason Crosby Show.
Not always.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
What it is, what it do. Welcome into hour number 2, high noon in Provo, Utah.
Monday.
That's right. What up, Provo? We are here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Mitch Nellis and Mason Crosby here with you. The Packers win Friday night. The Brewers win Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon before falling to the Braves last night in Williamsport. Made it a little exciting there in the bottom of the ninth with a almost Contreras bomb. It went to it looked good off the bat.
So close.
Yep, went to the warning track. I had a group of dudes at the house last night, and there was the shouts. Now maybe there was some.
Wouldn't it be cool if they played in like an actual Little League stadium?
I was thinking that like 29-24, like what,
hitting bombs the whole time. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. That would be a little crazy, but kind of fantastic.
Exactly.
As well. So the Brewers lose to the Braves yesterday 4-2. Shane Drone with a good performance, and listen, he's not in the rotation for the playoffs.
Yeah.
But kind of like we talk about when we talk about some of the Dodgers starters, like if he can give you 5 to 6 innings and keeps you in games, and that's what he did yesterday. And a lot of people thought that when the Caleb Durbin trade happened, that Drowan was going to be the better pitcher than Harrison at some point.
Yeah.
And I'd be wondering, like, if Brewers scouts, if the staff,
it could get there.
Right. Exactly. But 2 runs in 5 innings, pitched well, kept the team in the game. And I'm not going to get bummed off of one loss. I do want to talk about like what that game was like last night. Cause I was half watching and trying to pay attention to my pocket aces and those sorts of things.
A little poker game going on.
A little poker game last night.
Nice.
But I don't know. Did you get a chance to watch? And more importantly, like, did Nolan watch it all, or did any of the girls, like, was anybody watching and enamored with or into kind of all the side conversations with the Little League stuff?
I watched a lot of the build up to it. I honestly didn't watch as much of the game as I was hoping to. Had some soccer games throughout the day yesterday.
Sure.
But, chasing kids around, watching their stuff, which we 2 big wins yesterday for the kids. Elizabeth's team, which was fun to watch, won 13-3 in soccer. So don't tell me there's not scoring in soccer.
Let's go.
Yeah, 11-year-olds play.
Yes.
They're going to get after it.
You throw out the over-unders when the 11-year-olds get on the field.
Nolan had both. Elizabeth had 2 goals. Nolan had a goal, an assist, and a hockey assist. It was like hit across, guy kind of deflected it, and then a goal. So
I love
doesn't
hockey
count
assist.
Soccer, but yeah, we're good. But hockey assist. Yeah, exactly. I gave it to him, but
nice.
Yeah, it was fun to get their seasons kicked off. But yeah, it's. I wanted to ask that question, just like the Brewers obviously had already won this series. They played, got 2 good wins. It seemed like they fully embraced the environment of what this minor or this Little League Classic was, right? Like hanging with the kids, like doing all the stuff.
Miz was playing ping pong, and Murph was handing out snacks from his back pocket.
Do you think it would have been different for him if they were, in a division hunt, right? Like if they were in like a clash head to head with like, do you have a different approach in that situation, or are you just going to embrace that? Like,
I think you embrace it. I think you lean into it, right?
Either way, right? Yeah. But I would say I'd never been in a situation like that, but that would probably be a little tricky to get up for a game, like after, hanging out, doing all these old, this fan fest and hanging out with the kids and doing all that. I think you're just going into that game hoping that, you can get hot at a moment and find some hits. It looks like, the Braves were able to, kind of get some home runs and get those bats going a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it was a cool experience. And I think those types of things for baseball, the Field of Dreams and then deals like this, like I wouldn't mind seeing more of these types of games in Major League Baseball, just because I think it's growing the game in such a positive way.
So I completely agree with you. And two things can be true. I think we have to keep in mind that that you only want to do this once every couple of years, because part of what you said is I do think it takes a little bit of your focus away. And, the Braves were 4 for 13 with runners in scoring position. The Brewers were only 2 for 12, but both teams had 11 hits.
Yeah.
And for the Braves to only score 4 runs on 11 hits and 4 walks, 15 base runners. For the Brewers to only score 2 runs on 11 hits and 3 walks, 14 base runners.
It's kind of a weird game.
Kind of a weird game, right? And I don't and I don't chalk it up to, because they were hanging out with the kids during the day, they didn't come through in the clutch because we saw the bases loaded for both teams a couple times, at least. And it just seemed like the flow of the game, it never quite hit in terms of like what you see from the pacing of a Major League Baseball game, from the focus of a Major League Baseball game. And part of that's the broadcast, as they were doing all the different interviews and all that sort of stuff.
Things.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do think that I'm glad they did it, and I'm glad it's done. I'm glad they're not playing a series in Williamsport.
That would be tough.
Yes. Yeah. Staying over and all that sort of stuff. I'm glad they have a day off today. They can go to New York. They can get some good deli, do all the things you do during the day in New York, and then play baseball tomorrow.
Do you think to keep it almost even a little more prized, if they did a series with 6 different teams? So you have 3 different games in this, in this one little 3-day period. And then it's certain little league teams in the World Series get to meet with other teams, so that it's not just a full blown these 2 teams. And so then you love
that. You love the Emirates Cup.
Yeah.
And
I want a little some sort of, do you win the series? Right. You play a quick little 3-game set. I don't know.
I don't think that works in baseball. And the reason
I love cups.
Right. I know. The reason I don't think it works in baseball is starting pitchers. Is that I just think you have to keep the focus on the 162. A series is so different than the regular season. And I know we talk about that a lot with postseason, is a 5 or 7 game series against the Dodgers is totally different than having a better record than them through 130 games. That is, it's almost like a different sport that you're playing. That I just think I like it in the NBA. Obviously football wouldn't work as well because you play once a week. I think it's perfect for basketball. If you spaced out the baseball season differently, but then you'd be playing in Williamsport without any fans. So that wouldn't, so I like where your mind is headed, and I'm going to put a big fat X through it right now.
That's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm not sure I would watch any other games other than Brewers anyway.
Right. So. If the Royals and the Cardinals are playing, which is a natural rivalry, Kansas City and St. Louis, they're the hometown rivals. Sure. But if they're playing in Williamsport, are you watching that game?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And
you're watching your game.
You feel bad for the teams that get to meet, they meet up with the lowly Mets right now or something, and it's they're I don't want to talk to anyone here.
Scotty Tiffany was really hoping Murph was handing out pocket pancakes yesterday. LOL. He was handing out snacks. I saw. I don't know if they were pocket pancakes or not. But
you take snacks from a strange.
If they're pre-wrapped.
Pre-wrap snacks.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah. How creepy are people sometimes on Halloween that give you something in a Ziploc bag? You're I'm not taking that.
Right. You put all right. So Mason, did you grow up
handing out vegetables or something? It's I'm not taking your veggies.
I have a buddy who just posted the top 10 things we were scared of in the 80s. And quicksand and electric eels and stuff like that. But
it's so scared of quicksand.
But razors in an apple on Halloween.
Jeez.
That was a thing that we were raised to be scared of, Mason.
Seriously.
Be scared of apples because somebody's putting a razor blade in that.
Gosh, there's some tough stuff. You had to be tough in the 80s.
Yeah.
You had to deal with some serious things.
I know they were talking about a little bit on earlier in 9 to Noon yesterday. They were talking, they made the statement that Miz has essentially clinched the Cy Young.
Man, you're going right where I was.
Were you? Oh, man. God,
mind melt.
it's like we do a radio show together.
That's right.
Yeah. Thoughts, Mace?
My follow-up question to
Yeah.
you, because you've had an opinion about this for a month or so,
Still do.
is what should they do with Miz at this point? Like, what
That's
is
a
the
great
right
question.
thing to do if you're Pat Murphy? Like, are you spacing out his starts? Like, are you trying to preserve him? Like, the dude just seems like a machine. He goes another 6 innings, no earned runs. I mean, he gets it down to a 1.68.
Did not have his best stuff either.
No, exactly.
Which is crazy.
He doesn't even need it anymore because of what he's shown to this point. Like, if you're up at bat against Mizorowski, like, how do you even prepare?
You just flip the bat out there and pray he throws a fastball.
Yeah.
Pray you just hit it with your bat, and so that it dinks somewhere and hits hard enough that it finds space.
Exactly.
Like you pray, basically.
So what do you think? Like, are they changing up the rotation a little bit, playing Harrison tonight? Is that a switch up, or is that where he was scheduled?
No,
to
I
go?
think that is a little bit of a switch up.
I was surprised to see Harrison going tonight.
They've been playing tomorrow, not tonight.
Sorry,
They're
tomorrow.
Off
Yes, sorry, tomorrow. So with that day off in this series, they kind of were able to adjust some of this rotation.
Right. They were able to reset, I think. So we've got, let's see, Tuesday night at the Mets. It is Kyle Harrison.
Yeah.
Wednesday at the Mets, it's going to be Dustin May.
So they're changing and resetting this whole thing.
Yep. I think that, and then Thursday is Miz. So Miz pitched Friday.
Yep.
So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's 5 days off. Typical is 4, but but the team had a day off also.
Sure.
So they were able to buy him an extra day off. I think that should be the goal moving forward. And I know they're about to have a bunch of games in a row again. I think 16 games in 16 days or something like that.
Jeez.
So he will pitch once or twice on 4 days rest. But then after that, I think they'll get him back to the 5 days or even a 6-day situation where they skip a day, even if there's not a day off, and move another guy like Dustin May will stay and will jump ahead of Miz if there's a day off or something like that. I think they have to do that. As much as like you want your 5 guys to go, and that's your 5 guys, and that's great. And if there's a day off, everybody gets a day off. If there's a day off, you could have somebody pitch on their normal 4 days rest and skip Miz and push him back 1 day and give him 6 days off instead of 5. Anything to get him ready.
I mean,
anything to get him ready.
Like, they only use 3 pitchers whenever he's on the mound. Like, you just don't have to go.
You
deep
rest the
into a
bullpen. Yep.
Yeah. Like, and that's the other question though, is do you talk to, and you're like, hey, like, especially in a 16, like if you can't rest him one of those cycles, you're like, hey, let's try to just get you 4, maybe 4 in a few, not stretch out to 6 innings and just like keep you under 90 pitches. Like, are those conversations like worth having, or is it just kind of, let's pitch you at how you feel good, let's keep you in a rhythm, and just as long as he's not stressing himself to the point of getting close to any kind of injury, do we just kind of keep him in his rhythm so that once playoff time comes, he's just raring to go?
Yeah, I think that's, you want to make sure that opening week of the playoffs, and especially if they have a first round bye, which they are on pace to have. I know they're only a game up on the Dodgers, but they're still 6 games up on the Braves. Braves. And barring some sort of collapse, they will finish 1 or 2 in the National League. They will not have to play in the wild card round. So Miz is going to get his rest anyway there. So you don't have to be crazy with the rest, but if you can buy him an extra day. Now the question is, buying him an extra day, do you end up giving him 1 less start in September than he would have had? And does that hurt his Cy Young chances? And I'm going to tell you right now, Mason, the answer is no. Like,
not anymore. Right.
He is minus 2,000. He is such an overwhelming favorite that, barring something crazy. Now, I'm not going to say he's a lock.
What was the number?
Because September
what was the number like early in the season? Like
he was plus 2,700.
Yeah, we missed that one.
Like we
told people.
Tommy was so mad.
We told people to do it
every day. The odds got worse, and Tommy would just be like yelling at himself for not getting down there.
Gosh.
So it makes me think I need to get down there to take the Jordan Love over for yardage.
Maybe it's just
Like
that
it's
time,
3,500.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's going to pass for more than that this year, right?
It seems like they are looking to air it out from these first 2 preseason games. Like,
Right. We got to get down there.
And then again, just even what I was talking about with Mike Heller, like not lining up and like having any sort of power run game. Like you're going to, you have to open it up and pass the ball more. Like maybe even giving Jordan Love options for more RPOs where he's pulling it and doing the, the little bubble screens out to his guys out there to make plays. So I would love to see more of that from the Packers, but I digress. Like
no, we needed to do us. Yeah. It's 3,500 for Jordan Love officially. So I think. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get down.
What are the odds on that?
It's even.
Oh, it's just even money. Yeah. So it's just.
I got a pocket full of cash right now, Mason. So maybe I should stop there on
feeling good.
Yeah.
All your friends' money.
Yeah. No big deal. 414-677-1250 is the phone number. 414-677-1250. Your thoughts on the weekend series, your thoughts on the Williamsport game, your thoughts on Miz and what you do with him moving forward. 262 writes in, it was awesome watching the Brewers wear out Martin Perez on Saturday. They could tell he wasn't bringing any heat, just throwing junk, and they were patiently waiting for him to throw good pitches and hammered him when he did. And we talked about this last week. Like yeah, they were facing Sale on Wednesday, but on Friday. But Martin Perez is no slouch. Like he came in with a 3.15 ERA. He was really good, and they did a nice job at hitting him and getting hits when they counted. And that was the thing that was kind of frustrating last night, right? Is that like they just, they fell back into that theme of not getting hits,
but not not when you needed them.
Exactly. Right? And that again
is Contreras back though.
I think Contreras is back.
Is back.
I had a buddy say this to me over the week yesterday. I was talking to one of my buddies, one of my good buddies who I went to high school and college with. He lives in Minnesota now, but he watches every game on he gets the MLB package or whatever it is. It is becoming more and more clear. And I know he had a double last night, right? And it looked like there are individual at bats by Christian Yelich that look okay. There are individual at bats. But if the play yesterday he was
like a true overall batter, like a batter right now.
Christian Yelich can't play in the playoffs.
Like not as a
DH. Unless there's a matchup, like especially against a righty who he has a lot of hit, like because he's going to face guys who he's seen.
And Jake Bowers has to play every single game.
Bowers is going to play every game. Vaughn has to play every game. Even though I don't know what happened.
I mean, that Bowers at bat was insane.
The one on Saturday, that 12 pitch at bat.
Yeah.
It was one of the best at bats in the history of Major League Baseball.
It was unbelievable.
Like he just kept following off and he was barreling some of those foul offs.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't just like swinging and praying. Like he was getting it. And then to hit a 2-run. I mean, that was one of the greatest at bats I've ever seen in my entire life, for sure. And so we saw that Christian Yelich cannot, and I don't know what they're going to do. Like, 10 days ago, I would have told you Luis Lara was like, he had hit the wall, right? Because he was struggling.
That's a young guy for you, right?
Yeah.
Like, just a little bit of a circus all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, I loved how Miz was like, he didn't need to jump for that ball. Like when it
which he did not.
I mean, he was running and he like jumped and then like he had to like wait for the wall, right?
Yeah.
I love Miz's smile. He's like, what's he doing?
But it was awesome. It was it look. And then the next game that was Friday. Then Saturday he had an amazing sliding catch. Like kind of he like angled. I mean, he ran basically the furthest I've ever seen anybody run for a ball.
So fast.
So he's doing great. We'll see what happens when Frelick comes back. I know Garrett Mitchell got hit last night and they took him out. Yeah. So maybe there's your excuse to get Frelick some at bats to see if he's ready to go. But we saw, and I'm going to use Rhys Hoskins as the example last year. Rhys Hoskins hurt most of the year, came back in September. They gave him a little chance. He didn't grab it. And they were like, all right, we're going to shut you down. Like you can't hit. That's where we are with Sal Frelick. Yeah. Sal Frelick comes back. They're going to give him a week. And if you hit well in that week, you're back in the mix, and we're going to figure out the platoon with you and Mitchell and Lara and figure out how that works. But if you come up and you don't hit at the major league level, like you're done for the year. Like we got guys who are hitting, but
no, exactly.
But Yelich is not, and I think Yelich is going to stay in the lineup for most of the rest of the regular season. But I just think and I know Murph loves him, and I know Murph, like if Murph has an Achilles heel, it is loyalty. But I
Yelich
think
is here, so like you got to figure something out with him. But it might just not be this year, right? Like,
right.
It just might not be, and that's, I mean, that's okay. Like the guy has guaranteed contract. He's gonna be on this roster for years, a few years to come. Like sometimes you just have to make a tough decision and say, unfortunately, like it's just not going to be like you're just not going to be in it for this season to close this out. But again, too, like that's like things change, right? Two things can be true. Like all of a sudden something happens and you got to inject him, and who knows, Yelich steps in and has great moments. So I think more of a pinch hitter than the DH.
Yeah,
could be
get his mind right to get there. All right, you just said something that's a perfect transition to a text I'm going to read where things change, and two things can be true. Okay. Jeff in Milwaukee writes in, Miz has 145 innings pitched and needs more days off, ? I was a Tigers fan before the Brewers came to Milwaukee. I remember Mickey Lolich pitching 304 innings and winning 3 games in the World Series. Aren't athletes today supposed to be more athletic, stronger, etc.? And that is, and listen, Jeff, everything you said is true, but it is a different world. It is a different sport. It is a different, mindset on how pitchers come. And I don't know that Mickey Lolich did that his rookie year. He might have, but I don't know that helped his longevity in terms of his
point.
Career.
I think they've gotten smarter. The science, all of the things, they used guys up back in the day. So it's like they're like, and just think about Mrs. Velat. Like why like put him out there if he doesn't like have to be? Like if you're finding ways to win, you can stretch him. Like we're not talking about shutting him down. It's just like if you can find ways that he can just be the freshest possible version of himself, like the science says that that's a wise thing to do. And they have all that data, all those things. Sometimes, do I think they lean into some of those and like use it as a crutch? Sure. Sometimes you just have to step up and be tough and be an athlete. And I would never doubt that Mizorowski would say, I don't need that many days off. I'll go pitch tomorrow, right? Like he's young, his arm is live, but you sometimes have to protect people from themselves. And I think a wise organization does that for their players. And I think the Brewers will be smart with it.
By the way, Mickey Lolich in 1971 led the league with 25 wins.
Wow.
45 games started, 29 complete games, 376 innings pitched, giving up 336 hits, led the league, and striking out 308 hitters. He finished second in the Cy Young voting. I don't know who won it in 71. I think Vita Blue might have for the A's. You can fact check me on that. I might have gotten that wrong. I know I'm old. I'm not that old. But
also didn't it used to be like
29 complete games? There aren't even 29 complete games in all of Major League Baseball anymore.
Weren't there more 300 hitters though then?
Sure.
Well? Like, I mean, it's like bats were like, it just was it's a different game. I don't think you can compare apples to apples there.
Our buddy Kenny calls in on the Nicolay Law Talking text line. Kenny, what do you got for us today?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm just going to chime in on a couple of things, Brewers and then one Packer. From a Mizorowski standpoint, there's this kid out there called Chase Burns. Chase Burns, I don't know if you've been following this kid or not.
Yes, on the Reds. He's fantastic.
He is outstanding. In fact, boy, wouldn't that be something if the Brewers actually could make a deal to get that kid on the roster? I know it's not going to happen.
Not going to happen, but yes, it does sound great.
But from a player standpoint, a player's not looking at an individual record per se, right? The media keeps chirping in his ear. Maybe some of his teammates, pitching teammates, are saying, "Oh, you're about to do this," But as an individual, you're just going out there to perform at your highest level each time you go out. Especially a young guy. This is his first full season, so he's having a tremendous season. Murph and company have been doing a great job with keeping the kid in check. They've got his emotions under control for the most part. We saw like last year when he had a couple of scenarios where he got a little, visibly upset or did some things that he shouldn't have done, barking at an umpire. But with all that being said, the kid is cool as a cucumber on the mound. So he's really pitching well. They're gonna keep him under control. They're gonna get him ready for the playoffs. That's the push right now. They know they're going to be in the playoffs. Are they going to be the 1 or 2 seed? I still believe they'll be the 1. One more Brewer comment. That catch that Laura made to pull that home run back in was outstanding over the weekend.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, that was a fabulous catch. I mean, that reminds me of back in the 80s and the 90s when I was playing in the men's leagues there and playing outfield and snagging home runs at 300.
Just like it, Kenny.
Actually, better. I had some really nice games.
Relax, Kenny. Let's get to your Packers point.
All right, Mason, you're gonna like this.
All right,
Trey Smack, baby. Have you ever seen a kid, and including yourself and other kickers, be this calm and cool? I know it's preseason, and it doesn't count for.
Just tell Kenny you've looked in the mirror before. Yes, Mason.
Yeah. So my point is, when you see him, when he comes out there, he takes his look at the goalpost, he gets himself ready, and he just looks totally focused. He's got the spot. His whole swing with the follow through on his leg and everything, he just looks so confident when he gets out there as a rookie kicker that I've never seen a kicker with this much confidence. I really haven't. I mean, this kid just looks so poised when you see him come out on the field. He's like, yeah, put it at 64, put it at 66. I'll hit it.
Yeah,
Your
from
thought.
the beginning
Kenny, thanks for the call.
to now, it does seem like he's really gained composure and isn't chasing after anything. It's just really making good, solid contact. I'd argue with you that I wouldn't say he looks like the most confident kicker. All these guys, I'm not sure how you can quantify that, but
Right.
I will say his setup, his rhythm, from the beginning of camp, where I said he was jumping at the ball, his timing and all that wasn't quite right, pulling the ball especially. It seems like he's addressed that, and yeah, can he continue it on into regular season is going to be the big factor as soon as the weather turns, as soon as all that happens, and only time will tell. But as of right now, we have to be confident that he looks really good right now in preseason, and you can't take that with a grain of salt. You got to think, all right, this guy might have the ability to do it for this Green Bay Packers team.
Absolutely. We've got some great text messages to get to when we come back, talking about the difference between baseball in the 70s and today, and I'm here for it. It's going to be a lot of fun to dive into those.
Are we going to dive into science? I saw one guy.
We're definitely
not comparing sports science and medical.
Totally the same. The same. Man,
ridiculous.
people are so smart. I just want to go out on the street and ask. I just want to take polls of people. How smart do you think you are? 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Everybody at 9.5? Because they're
diagnosing someone with the flu is the same as diagnosing someone's rotator cuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally the same. Remember, baseball coverage on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. Much more to come right here on the science-based, science-free. We believe in science and we don't believe in science. We just want to be friends with everybody.
With Mason and Mitch.
Right. Nailed it. Oh yeah.
I'm going
This
back
is-
to college, Mitch.
Yeah. Good. You're going back to college? You're gonna kick one more year?
I think they give me eligibility
You got one more year left?
for sure.
Nice. Where you going to Colorado, or are you gonna shop around whoever gives you the best
I don't know.
NIL
Yeah, I
deal?
don't even know who's at Colorado. Maybe I could go back. Yeah.
Uh,
Vandy, maybe I could just pop up to
Oh
Vandy.
my gosh.
Just
How
on the
about-
weekends.
Does Belmont have a team? Could you kick at Belmont?
Belmont doesn't have a team.
Oh. They got basketball. They're a basketball
The
school.
basketball.
I have a buddy who just drove his daughter down to Belmont last weekend.
Oh, nice.
Starting as
It's
a
great
freshman.
School.
Yeah.
Great school.
This is the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder and Ellis.
There's
And-
too much. Did you just see
I
the
know.
breaking news? The Jed York?
No, I saw that before the show started.
Was that earlier?
Man,
I
the
didn't see that.
Niners are a mess.
What is
Like
going on?
they might need to contract. Like they might need to take a year off
Just
of
take it.
football, get their house in order, and come back.
Yikes,
I was
know.
more reading during the break all the Shador Deshaun Watson stuff.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun
took
Watson's
some-
a mess.
goodness.
Dude, go away.
Yeah, what's
It's
going
over,
on
bro.
there? Yeah, that place is a disaster. But you know, you got Haslam. We talked about it with Heller. Like,
Yep.
do you go and get Denzel Ward? Like,
Go
they're willing
yeah.
to get rid of like a lot of their great, like good players. So
Or maybe they're not.
now's the time to strike.
Like maybe they just got rid of Garrett and they brought in a good player, and maybe they're like, no, we're keeping all our good players now, like all three of them.
all three.
What a joke of an organization, the Cleveland. They're worse than the Niners.
Yeah, they're bad.
I don't know what's going. That's bad though. What Niners?
What did Sean Watson say? Because I know he gave an apology today.
Well,
for,
he-
like, letting his
so, yeah.
human nature get the best of him.
So he came out and talked about how like he's used to being booed, and he's you know he knows it's not about football, but he's being booed because of things in his past, or like what people think they know about him, and that like when he tore his Achilles last year, the fans were cheering, and like
Yeah.
he doesn't appreciate that. It's like all that might be true, but you stink at football.
Yeah.
And the
they're not very
Browns
good.
stink at running and having a football team. And I don't know Shador Sanders at all. But it sure seems like he's better at football than Deshaun Watson is at this point.
Well, at this point, is it just like you kind of are trying to save face? You got to play Deshaun
Yes.
Watson because you're still paying
Who
him
cares? Like
a
Mason,
ridiculous amount of money.
in 2026, what earth do we live in anymore where you make quarterback decisions to save face as opposed to trying to win football games?
Whenever
Like,
you
who
have
cares
an
about
owner,
face
like, when you have an
anymore?
owner that like has an investment and they
No.
say like I'm just going to at least like I'm going to at least get the most out of this investment as I can, and I don't really care if we
All right,
win, someone's going to write me a check.
I'm not making
I don't agree with it.
Right.
I'm just saying that is I can see that's how maybe this Browns organization operates.
Okay.
It's just like we just want to get the most out of this investment. We don't care if we win games.
if I say something that's going to get me into trouble with the fans, not like trouble like with like I'm not saying something that's
Okay.
like wrong,
All right.
but with the fans, I don't think this is an equivalency. I don't think this is the same.
Okay.
Sticking with Deshaun Watson is not the same as sticking with Christian Yelich. But there's a little bit there of like loyalty and saving face, and he's the highest paid guy, and we got to give him a chance to work his way, and he's earned it. He's been an MVP and blah 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 blah. Like if Yelich can't play in the playoffs, he can't play. But like if Watson can't play quarterback in the NFL anymore, how can the Browns, whether it's ownership or GM or coach, like how can they ever be trusted ever again?
Who writes in? Someone writes in on the Nicolay Law Talking text line pretty often, like guaranteed contracts.
Guaranteed contracts that must die. Greg,
And that-
yeah, I think that's
That
right.
is, I mean, that is probably part of the the deal.
That really is.
Yeah. And you can't renegotiate. It's not like, because even in my career, like I renegotiated a contract after 2012 to take less money. I earned, I had escalators to try to earn it back, which I'm actually here for. It's like,
sure.
I think sometimes your contract needs to be earned, not just, because you signed it 3 years ago, like we're just going to keep giving you this number. Like even as a player, I think there are times that like you need to have your back against the wall and you got to earn that contract.
Yep. All right. You sent me a text also. There was a fight at practice, Packers practice today.
Yeah, we need to talk about fighting at practice.
Okay.
I saw
So
it too.
internal
It started
or
with
with the
Matthew
Cardinals?
It started with Matthew Golden and Brandon Sorrell, former Texas teammates. And then I
Okay.
guess benches cleared, said, And I saw some reporters like glad they're getting this out of the way before the Cardinals. And I'm like, let's be honest, there's probably going to be a scuffle next week as well.
Or this week. It's this week.
It's this week. Yeah. Yes. It's like, coming right up.
But there might be, but do you think because it's like, I mean, like Matt talked a lot about that in his press conference today about like how he thinks it'll be less and
because
not
it's the last week.
And also because like him and his brother, he said something really funny though.
Let's be real. Like none of the players are worried that they're brothers. Like if someone wrongs you on the field, you're punching them in the face.
Hold on. I got to play this. I'm going to play the very end of this cut where he's talking about, they were talking about like working in joint practice and, in light of the fights between Dallas and New Orleans. So this is the very end of what he said.
Okay. Is if there's an issue, I'm going to tell the guys, hey, you come tag me in. They can tag in my brother, and we'll throw down on the 50.
I'm down for that.
I mean, that's funny, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's, I like that. But do you think this is like because they haven't had a joint practice yet that they're just ready to go at it?
Yeah, I mean, this is usually like it actually usually happens before that second preseason game.
Yeah,
like it's a long stretch. You got all this time. Like I think it boils later now just because the stress of camp isn't as high as it used to be. I mean, when you go through 2-a-days and all the, and even but after 2-a-days, like you had more practices, it felt like, and more practice time. You get 2 weeks in and it's just like, I gotta hit somebody's going to make you mad. The defense probably usually thinks they're dominating and an offensive player gets, hit the wrong way and then it blows up. Right. And that's it's inevitable. And I never want to see like a full out brawl, but I do think it's okay for there to be some scuffles and some heated exchanges and some guys locking each other up. And like the offensive line say, like, the Cobra strike, right? Like, and you just grab a guy and you're holding them. And I think that stuff is good. I never think it's okay, especially with guys. I never understand why anyone punches somebody wearing a helmet.
Who's wearing a helmet, right?
It never makes sense. Close fist punching someone with a helmet.
Are you trying to get under the helmet?
But they never do. They're like always hitting them in the face mask or the side of the head.
Like you're going to break your finger,
bro. Break your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense.
Mason, going back to the Mickey Lolich Detroit Tigers of the 70s, he was a great pitcher.
Yeah.
He threw between 93 and 95 miles an hour max.
Yeah.
So 10 miles an hour slower. And so 414 writes in, the average fastball was 89 in 2002. Now it's 95.
Yeah.
And that's only 2002. That's not even 1972. I think that tells the full story. While training has gotten better, one thing really can't change much, and that's the strength of ligaments and tendons. You can strengthen muscles. You can't strengthen those. I think you've seen the benefits of new age training, much less shoulder injuries because the rotator cuffs are a set of muscles which can get stronger. But in exchange, you've seen more UCL tears because the UCL is a ligament that can't get stronger.
Yeah.
And then, of course, 715 says it doesn't believe in science at all. So we don't actually have ligaments. We're just made of, I don't know, paper mache. Like, guys, I don't understand.
I'm saying this sarcastically, just so everyone knows. I have one doctor. I just go like if I tear my ACL, if I have a flu, I'm just going to the same. I'm just going to the same guy.
Yeah, toothache.
Yeah, toothache.
Dentists are fake too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
how'd your haircut go? By the way,
haircut was nice. Yeah,
was it?
Like it worked out great.
It felt like, and you felt like you were home.
Felt good. Yeah, so much lighter. Just she gets me.
That's awesome. I love that. 414-677-1250. If you want to chime in on any of the myriad of things we're talking about, and we're going to keep this conversation going tomorrow, of course, because we've still got. I mean, we didn't even get to the fact that the kid played for like Cleveland in a preseason game and now is enrolling to play for Lane Kiffin at LSU.
We'll hit a little bit on it here in my extra points, and then we'll dive deeper about implications, how we feel about it tomorrow.
It's the wild west, Mason. Let's go. It is. He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today?
Now I'm thinking.
It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis. On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Thanks for joining the Mason Crosby Show on this Monday. What is it? August 24th. Wow.
It's getting there, bro.
Me and Mitch Thunder Nellis holding it down. We're just, trying to decide what science we believe in, and what is fake and what is real. Linda on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line. I love this take. Thunder Mason, from the Middle Ages through 18th century, barbers also did dental work. Maybe the guy who doesn't believe in science could have his barber take care of his toothache, save him a trip.
I mean, we're all about saving trips because,
Imagine going to the barber and just like getting the 2-for-1.
Oh, my tooth feels. Oh, there you go. Let me
just pop a tooth out
Yeah.
and get your hair trimmed up. That'd be. I do wish things were a little more convenient. Like
Sure,
that.
yeah.
No,
I wish the gas station could. I wish you could do all that stuff at the gas
Just
station.
do it all at the gas
Just
station.
like the guy
Little
working at the
drive-thru.
gas station, just cut my hair and take my tooth out.
I love
Let's
that.
go.
So we're gonna hit a lot more on this tomorrow, but we have professional athletes going back to college is very interesting. I will say though, like my initial take was like I was like shocked and all that, but like I started thinking, and I'm like, this is actually something that I've probably had a feeling about for a while. It is weird. You declare for the draft, you don't get drafted, you don't make a team. Like you get signed by a team, you make a minimal amount of money through the offseason, and then they release you and you're not with anybody. Like if you have eligibility or they'll give you eligibility back, like I'm not sure I'm upset about the fact that somebody could go back to college and play one more season. And then honestly, if I'm the NFL, I'd adjust a little bit and say like, this is okay. Like now you get to see this guy free of charge. Like you get to evaluate him one more time, and who knows, they might improve, and they might be a guy that you want on your team, the following season.
And I think from the athlete's perspective, you just got the experience of being in an NFL camp. You know what you need to work on now.
Yeah.
You learned a lot. And if you can use that to become a better player for your college team and to better your situation in the future, like selfishly, I'd want them to be able to use that too.
Yeah, whenever you potentially, I don't know what this tight end from Cleveland's going to sign at LSU NIL wise, but it's more than he made in the offseason, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So it's like you're going to go back like now
or as a practice squad guy.
Or as a practice squad guy. Yeah. And now you have some security as well. Like you're playing for a high level college team. You're getting that experience again. Like, I don't know. It is giving a benefit to some guys that aren't going to make an NFL roster. So I think they need to figure out like exactly how this works, but I don't think it's the end of the world if something like this happens, because until you get on an active roster, you technically have not, like, that's like with guys retiring from the NFL before they've even made a roster. Like, you just stop playing football.
Yes,
like,
that
you
is
didn't
correct.
retire from anything.
Real quick shout out to Sendix in Whitefish Bay, one of the originals, knocking it down today, building a new one.
Okay,
it's right next door. It's already half built. It'll be open in a month, they say. But I walked through the aisles yesterday. Just
nice.
I'm a nostalgia guy.
Just fresh.
End of an era. Yeah.
All
right, Mace. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Cubs play tonight. No Dodgers. No Brewers. So hopefully the Diamondbacks can take care of the Cubs.
Yep. Boo. Blues Cubs.
That's right. This has been the Mason Crosby Show. Charlie and Tim Allen are next.